All right, hey everybody, we're back, and this is a very interesting article that is more, not so much just about the Toyota and the Tundra, but it's about mechanics today and what they got to deal with, but it is very interesting to read this. This is from Hot Cars, Why Mechanics Hate the New Toyota Tacoma and Tundra Pickups, and it's pretty interesting. We got a few things highlighted in here. It says, for decades, Toyota built a reputation for reliability that mechanics respected, but the newest Tacoma and Tundras are a different story. Inside, the service bay techs are burning out, chasing problems that Toyota insists are normal. That is one issue right there. Toyota has been this way for a while now, and it's getting annoying. Okay, they refuse to treat some things. One master tech said he worked more than 60 hours in a week and only got paid for 23 hours, all because diagnosing endless customer complaints rarely counts as billable time. That is a big issue with how techs are paid today. I do not understand why in 2025 we have not solved this yet for technicians and how it is still on the system they're on. Their system is brutal to not only the techs, but it's bad for us as well, customer-wise. I'll explain that later on. Down here it says, owners expect comfort and refinement, but what they get are water leaks, rough transmissions, and alignment issues. So what exactly is driving mechanics to hate these new Toyota trucks? So here it is. Here we're going to dive into some of it. So the Toyota Master Tech, who goes by Jesse, whatever, put it bluntly, he said, the Tacoma and Tundras are making life in a shop miserable. Mechanics are spending hours chasing problems that owners swear are defects, but Toyota often rules as a normal condition. That leaves techs unpaid and frustrated. The biggest red flags include water leaks showing up on trucks that should be sealed tight, knocking engines even when new, transmissions that shift roughly and unpredictable, alignment issues out of the gate that are another sore spot. Okay, these are big time issues here that you got to deal with, and Toyota's kind of brushing a lot of this stuff off like it's no big deal. But you got water leaks, knocking engine, rough idles, unpredictable transmission shifts, alignment issues from the factory, complexity of servicing new engines due to oversized vehicle design and cramped access. Okay, not a lot of room to work on them anymore. Driveline vibration, rattle squeaks. These are the things you're listening to. But just take a look at this, especially when you mix in the hybrid with all the extra plumbing and all the BS for the hybrid. But look at how complex this is to even get in there and work on stuff. Where's your room? How do you fit in through all this plumbing work? How do you get in here to do anything at all? And that's the problem a lot of people are having here. It says... Techs also point out how oversized these new trucks are. Toyota chased the American taste for bigger trucks, but the extra bulk adds complexity under the hood. Working around a 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6 in the Tundra, for example, eats up time because of cramped access. Owners rarely see this side of the story, but techs feel every wasted minute they're working for flat rate. One misrouted wire or small leak can turn into hours of labor, and most of it goes unpaid. And this, again, stems to the issue we have here, which we will dive in. Let's finish this. Reports of water leaks, driveline vibrations keep popping across model years. While patterns that repeat, the frustration grows because Toyota still doesn't recognize these as systemic problems. So Toyota is ignoring a lot of issues, and that's another problem in its own right. The frustration, however, is largely regarded on how hard these trucks are to service compared to older Toyotas. The Tacoma now packs a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder and has hybrids in a mix to added electronics means more to diagnose, less room to wrench. A simple inspection and repair can take twice as long as it used to. That time mechanics don't get back when Toyota says a condition is normal. See, again, we're going to finish our article, then we're going to give our take on it here. Says, this guy summed it up here too. He said, Toyota wants to advertise 100,000-mile service intervals, but it's not right. Grease breaks down, transmission fluid breaks down, engine need more love than that. He points out how sealed U-joints and maintenance-free drive shafts shorten lifespans compared to old models with grease fittings everywhere. He also called the transmission shuttering on Toyotas very common, often because Toyota ships them with low on fluid because the factory fluid schedule is unrealistic. Pretty crazy to see how some of this stuff rolls down here. It says right here, flat rate pay only makes things worse. One tech shared he logged more than 60 hours at the shop in a week, but he got paid for 23. That grind builds resentment fast, adds in warranty hoops and customer complaints don't always line up with the truck's designed to, and the whole experience turns toxic for the guys that are fixing them. All right, now let's put it into real world perspective here. First of all, look at this. Look, who wants to work on this? Who in their right mind today wants to work on any of this BS stuff in here? I don't blame them. But then we take into account the fact that how mechanics are paid. See, they're paid on flat rate. So what that means is, and this is the simple version of it. So if they're told to replace a water pump, and it's billed at 9 hours to replace this water pump, they get paid for 9 hours to do it. If they break bolts, if something they can't get to, if things are in their way, if it doesn't work, and it takes them 11 hours, they still only get paid for 9. If it takes them 14 hours, they only get paid for 9. If they fix it, if they do it in 7, then they get paid for 9. See, there's the bonus. If they do it quicker than what the book says, they can make more money. All right, let's take a quick second, mention our sponsor of this video here, Last Fit. Full done. If you guys know me, you know I love Last Fit stuff. Their mats are amazing. We put one in Tina's long time ago. There it is right there. This is it, the Last Fit bed mat. Look at the fit and the coverage of this thing. It's just so well done. They do these things so good. Just took it out of the box, which you can see sitting right there. And we just put it in, but we have both. We got the bed mat and we have the tailgate cover. Look at this, tailgate cover on here. Just real simple, just replace your bolts with it. We have that mat in here, look at this thing. It will form and conform and lay flat right in and follow the contours of this, just like what happens in this one. How, you know, this was the same way when I got this one. Look at how perfectly it fits right now. How excellent that is, so nice, no slip, and look at how deep this thing trays. What that means is that I can just easily slide this out and dump it if I got crap in there. People don't understand these, but these ridges that we see right in here, these are gear stopper ridges. Okay, so what that means is the gear won't slide. So like my battery system here, if I put that here, it will not slide forward. It does not come past those. And much better on your knees. Look at that. Okay, you don't get that aggressiveness of this, and your gear's not getting wrecked and ruined by that sandpaper effect. These guys do better than you could ever imagine. However, if it doesn't get done right and then it comes back later on, they have to fix it again for free. There's all these intricate details. Again, diagnosis is done at a different stage. All these things are there, but what it boils down to is, for the mechanic, they have to work so fast and so hard and can't really do things the right way or take the time to do them the right way in order to get paid, and they're not. They're getting shafted today more than they used to. When it was simple and all you had was, you know, a standard V6 with a fuel injection rail on it and nothing more complicated than that, it was pretty easy for them to fix things, and they could move quick, and this flat rate system worked for them. There was none of this BS they had to deal with. Now these things are so much more intricate, complicated, so much more crap in your way. They're struggling. And now where does this hurt us as a customer? It hurts us tremendously too, because when you think about this, the guy who's working on your 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, $120,000 truck, yes, you heard that correct, he is being paid to go as fast as he possibly can and get it done as quick as he possibly can. And if he doesn't get paid. Okay, if he takes the normal amount of time or longer, he doesn't get paid for that, and he does that work for free. Is this a guy, I don't care how good he is, that you want, is this the pay structure you want for the guy who's going to be working on your 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 truck? Not me. I'd rather it be a guy who's getting paid hourly to be there, can take his time, can reroute things correctly. When he drops the screw, find it, get a right screw for it, can take the time to do everything right and do my truck right and get the job done right. And as he sees other things when he's in there doing stuff that needs to be addressed, he'll address them as well too. That's how I want the guy working on my truck paid. Not, you got 9 hours to get this job done, and if you don't get it done in 9 and anything above 9, you don't get paid for. And so then he's in trouble, and he takes him, now he's got to try and do it in 8 or in 9, and then he's also going to try and race to do it in 8 so he can get an extra hour of pay for not having to do any work if he can get it done quicker. This is a horrible, horrible system. The system's a joke, and it should not be that way. And I don't blame mechanics for leaving. And this is one of the biggest reasons we don't have them anymore. Is techs are done with this crap, being treated like this, and they shouldn't have to, especially the complexity we have today. As far as the Tundra issues and the Toyota issues, we knew this is here. Okay, Toyota is no better than any other truck brand, no matter the internet tells you it is. Best truck in the world, never fails. Toyota reputation, Toyota reliability, yeah. Okay, we hear all this stuff, I get it. But in reality, Toyota is no different than any other manufacturer out there. They got a lot of problems, and Toyota definitely has been proven in the last few years to not stand by its customers on anything. So, and that gets upsetting for the mechanics as well, too. Plus, Toyota owners, in my opinion, and I don't mean this as a bad way, more of a stereotype, they are more of the kind of people that are going to complain about little stuff. I got a rough shifting transmission. I'm hearing a vibration. Something just doesn't seem right. I'm just not feeling it. You know, that kind of a thing. I paid a lot of money for this truck, and I expect it to be perfect. And you know what? When I shut the driver's door, it makes a little different noise than the passenger door when I shut that one. One sounds a little more solid than the other. Can you fix these? That's the kind of stuff I expect from a stereotypical, and I don't mean that in a mean way, Toyota owner, Lexus owner, and that's also part of the problem for these guys here too. So curious what your thoughts are. Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.